Bap, bap, bap. I did it. I've stopped doing that. Trust me, it's a good thing. But Trevor Wallace, why not do it? Special throwback, bap, 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 for Trevor Wallace, who's on the show today. He has a special on Amazon. He's hilarious. He's a dream. Love having him on. Without further ado, Trevor's on the way, but here's a little ado. I have a little further ado, actually. I have some shows coming up in Erie, Pennsylvania on June 28th. I'm going to be at the Warner Theater. I'm going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada, July 2024 on July 6th. Sorry, guys. My dyslexia is definitely getting worse. Going to be at the Mirage July 6th next year. All new material. Then July 17th, I'll be in Alberta, Canada at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. I also have a special out, brand new special on of.tv/Whitney. You can also go see the roasts that we did, the roast of Bert Kreischer, the roast of me, and then my special, which is called Mouthy, out now, of.tv/Whitney. It's totally free. There's no catch. Love you. Enjoy, Trevor Wallace. I love that you're so potted out that you're like, save it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're like, that's the most podcast host shit ever. Well, like,
it's weird because you're always like, I think they should just start recording the second you get there. But then it feels like you're automatically on.
No one wants to hear about the traffic on the way.
Yeah,
I don't know. Every time, are we recording, Pat? Like, every time I go see like Bobby Lee or Santino, we're about to record.
Yeah, well, Bobby lives under a bridge.
He's
a troll. I love him. No, I love Bobby. I was just with him.
Literally, I'll get there and I'm like, I couldn't find parking. They're like, save it. I'm like,
save it. Yeah. Every podcast has in the history. Save it. Do that sneeze. Save it.
Shit, like this isn't the gold I'd like to open for
right, exactly.
On with your audience. But yeah, it's always
I hit a moose on the way here. Dude, save it.
It's always,
no, like my car is broken. Like I gotta go.
I'm like, can I pee real quick? Just let's talk about it on the podcast.
Save it. I saw a man get murdered today. Dude, save it. Save it. Save it.
Yeah, or like I need to just I feel insecure about my dude on camera. Like, can we have one interaction that's not monetized? Is that okay?
No.
Can we?
No.
Can we have one moment not for public consumption?
CPM is my life. I need to know how much money I'm making per second.
By the way, do you feel like that now? Like when you run into comedians, like I feel like I don't want to have too much fun because I'm like, well, we should be like.
Oh, right.
Why are we doing this for no one?
Yeah. Well, it is funny. Like when I'm recording with any comic, it's like so riffy, back and forth. He's like, wow, this guy's such a good conversation. And then the camera's coming, we go get lunch. And I'm like,
it's like awkward.
Do you like stand up? Do you like me as a person? Like it feels like, I don't know what it is, but it's like it has like first date energy. You're like, we were just riffing for an hour at the Improv. Then you go to Swingers and you're like, so what made you move to LA?
So like when no one's paying us, all of a sudden we can't get it up.
I think it's like the environment of Comic Club is so fun and lively, and it's very riffy there. And then you're just alone. You're like, have
you ever hung out with a comic during the day? That'll really your life.
No, you can't.
It's like seeing a snail out of its shell. You're just like, whoa.
But yeah, you can't. You're like, somebody should put you.
You made me think of a joke from your special, out now, Pterodactyl.
On Prime Video.
Out. Get it. Watch it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it.
You know that I feel the need to say this. I wanted to not like you when I first found out about you. You just wormed your way in. You kill me. It eats me up inside.
Thank you so much. And before the joke you were talking about, I went to you for a lot of advice on the special. A lot of stuff. So you were like a mentor in this. You're a free EP, free P. You get no credit, but you get mental credit. This is me giving you credit.
Not even a special thing.
Free P. Yeah. Fuck. Did I? I don't know. The special thing's hard.
It's hard.
It's all
making a special, because the hardest part about making a special is you're so good on stage. You've been doing this for so long. You're so comfortable. And then all of a sudden, I always call it like, it's always an away game when you're shooting a special. It's at a theater that you're not, used to. You've got cameras all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden you see someone that's like really great live being a little bit awkward.
Right.
And, it's just kind of like the idea is to capture the same energy that you would have live in a special. And there's just like a couple little tricks. And when I love somebody, I always want to make sure they know them, because a lot of comics don't share tricks. Like why aren't we all just, passing them on? So I made a lot of mistakes and I wanted to pass them on.
Well, that's what's great about it is I can talk to the people I look up to and be like, these are all massive things that I learned. And then hopefully I can pass it on to somebody.
Sure.
But I cut you off. You said something that reminded you of a joke.
Oh, yes. But yeah, no, I hope I wasn't micromanaging, because I would like at 2 a.m. wake up and be like, make sure the AC is on the night before.
So important. And like all of these things, I took advice from just like so many people I could, just because this is my first special. 8 to 9 years of stand-up in one. It's like, other than that, you know, I'm really hoping that it does well. If it doesn't, whatever. But I want Amazon, you know, if they come back to me and be like, hey, we went on another special in 2 years, it's like, this is the one that's like going to have the most time and comfort put into it. But as you know, the second special after, they're like, hey, they won it in 9 months. You're like, I have 12 new minutes. Time to start riffing about brown paper bags. Yeah, exactly. I got to start fucking. Yeah. Which is funny. Yeah. It's like, you know how you clean your room when a date's coming over? That's, well, you live in a goddamn palace.
Stop pretending you just buy a house.
Yeah, I know, but I still made my own bed, Whitney. I made it and I sleep in it. But it feels like that's like the industry being like, hey, we want a special 9 months. Let me get my together.
Yeah. And you're just like on Reddit, just looking for setups.
Oh, no.
No, but it's interesting because I feel like my first special, nobody told me not to yell. I was yelling like the way that you would I'm doing it now, the way that you would in a big theater to try to get to the back row, but you have a microphone, you're mic'd, like, you know, people are watching it on a smaller screen. It's not a live show. And then in my HBO special, nobody told me the secret about you have to turn the AC in the venue on the night before. So my first show, I came out instantly sweating. Yeah. It was so I only was able to use one show.
That's what I was going to say. It probably fucks up continuity. Because then the second show, you're cool as a cucumber, but you're cutting back and forth. It's like there's just a sweat ring disappearing.
Unless you're Louis C.K., in which case he will literally intercut between two shows and he'll be drenched in the setup and dry in the punchline. And you're like, good for you, man.
And do you think people pick up on that? Or do you think only people who shoot a lot of edit a lot of pick up on that? Or do you think the average person, not average person, but like the average viewers might just like, I had no idea.
I think people have gotten more and more savvy because we talk about this time on podcasts. So I think that like comedy fans kind of will.
And also the quality is so good.
I think once you're Louis C.K., no one cares. And there's something kind of charming about it.
Yeah,
but when you're us, you're like, what kind of asshole just intercuts between shows? Know, right? Are you trying to manipulate us? Why aren't you using, you know what I mean? And a lot of times.
This isn't one show.
Yeah. A lot of times when you have to cut between shows, there might have been a technical issue. There might have been a something. But like Louis like earned the benefit of the doubt where I feel like you and I would still be under the microscope.
Yeah, I get that. People are so wholesome when they ask questions. Like a lot of people would assume it's just one show. A lot of people also, and I'm sure you haven't got this question in decades, but like I still get like
okay.
Not decades, but you're,
let's just slow down.
Sorry, centuries
with the decades.
So back in the Roman era, the Roman Empire, when you started.
So my first talkie.
Yeah. You didn't do MSG. You did the Roman Empire where they throw stones at you. No,
back when I was the court jester for King Arthur.
Yeah, everybody had black and white vision back then. I'm just trying to say, like, you're so established in this world. I'm sure people still say dumb things to you, but like, I'll have a friend come to show and they'll be like, yo, how much of that is, did you just come up with that off the dome? Is that just all improv?
First of all, you need to stop hanging out with people that say dome.
Oh, well, I don't know if you know my fan base.
Instead of head, okay.
Yeah, but like, yo, is that just like, do you think is that just like right off bat?
But what I will say is you are so good off the cuff and you are so comfortable. So people don't ask me that because I think you know that I've prepared what I'm doing for the most part. This special that I just did for OFTV, I do have do a lot of crowd work in it. And I started putting crowd work in the specials just so people know that I do have that skill set because I think my stand-up feels very written. In a way that I'm proud of. In a way that I'm proud of.
Yeah, I mean, like you're just doing the art form. You're also like, let me show you what Mama's cooking. Mama can out.
But also,
I'm only saying Mama because you're pregnant.
Okay, thank you. I thought you were calling me fat, which is also fine.
No, I would never.
Imagine the arrogance that would come with scheduling, doing a special. I mean, I'll just come up with it when I get there. Like, what?
Oh, of course.
Like, your friends are even dumber than I thought.
Because
Domer. Because you think that I paid all this money to get a camera crew here, Amazon, and I'll come up with it on the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll figure out the jokes when I get there.
I love those guys, but that's also a barometer for like when we're in the edit bay and we're like, oh no, the mic's in my right hand. No, now it's in my left hand. It's like these guys don't even know.
Yeah.
Like they just think that you just walk up there and be like, dating's crazy. And they're like, dude, this guy gets it. Like they think that we're just like, so when I get in my head over too much about continuity or something, I go like, dude, the average bro, one of my homies watching this thinks I riffed this 1 hour.
Yeah.
I think I'm good on continuity. But I use the editor, Michael Schultz, who you recommended.
The best.
Oh man, what a guy.
The best.
I went up to his place and we like had an edit day and it was fun. It was like collaborative and it's just like, I saw the special come to life, and I have such control issues when it comes to like videos and putting out. It's like, this was kind of hard for me. because I had to give notes, but then also like, other people are giving their notes. Amazon's giving their notes, and like I'm going against Michael's notes, and we're kind of like, but then we like kind of came to amend, and we like it was very collaborative.
Well, it's interesting because you also have an understanding of how your audience consumes videos and content. So it's like, it was interesting watching the special because there were more wide shots than I thought there would be. Because I thought that you would go like, oh no. I mean, you can always punch in for TikTok and you can punch in for, reels and stuff like that. But I remember being like, oh, I'm surprised he allowed so many wide shots in here, because I would imagine in your work, there's not a lot of wide shots because you're like have to cut it. This is what, when you and I did the roasts, like and Pat remembers the nightmare of me constantly wanting to punch in, because I was like, people are going to be watching this on their phone, on the subway right here. Wide shots, you're just going to look like a little dot.
Ooh. Yeah, the wide shots were nice to have to like kind of cut away from, or be like, all right, that's a clean palette of that joke.
Yeah. Taking a breather.
It's like an interlude on a CD.
Like it just kind of like it moved in a very, it's like I love this about your work is it's very intense and very like frantic in the best way and cut very tight.
We had a whole camera that was aimed to do in-camera snap zooms. And there's certain jokes where I would look down the barrel of the camera. And in the first show, they were starting to get it. Second show, they got some. Third show was like, they knew like when I'd be like, ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. And I would like, and when I would look, they would point in, because I do so much punch zooms on my videos.
Yeah.
I wanted it to feel like this is a sketch, or it's like, oh, this has the Trevor feel on it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a face that's just a plug and play. It's like, I want people to know that this is like, I am so invested in this project, and it's not just like
it felt very adult. It felt very like Trevor's arrived.
Yeah. I mean, I've been struggling with this. Just like, I don't know how to perceive this. I feel nervous. I feel excited. I feel everything. And I was talking to a therapist. Ladies, what's up? I go to therapy. And he was like,
BetterHelp.com, promo code
Stiff Socks. Promo code Bert. I don't know. He needs it. Just kidding. I love you, Bert. But
wait, what do you go to therapy for? Do you go weekly?
Bi-weekly.
You go twice a week?
Bi-weekly. Every other week.
That's bi-monthly.
No. Bi-weekly would be every other week. Right?
I think that's right.
Uh-oh.
I'm Me Tooing both of you.
Fortnightly.
Bi-weekly means twice a week.
There's no way.
Yeah,
So if a gardener comes bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly means occurring every 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you go every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I said.
To therapy.
Don't try to spit it on me right now.
But why wouldn't you just say twice a month?
Because bi-weekly is shorter. It's one word.
Who says bi-weekly?
Everybody. Comment below.
Who goes to therapy twice a month?
You're literally like me. You're just a guy who got proved wrong. You're like, who says bi-weekly? When you could say, I go to therapy twice a month.
Only bisexuals.
Yeah.
Gay.
Leap year type shit.
I'm so mad that I got this wrong. What does bi-monthly mean?
You months.
This is how I got pregnant, by the way, not knowing how this works.
That's...
So bi-monthly means every 2 months?
Are you going to stream your birth?
I think I should, don't you?
OnlyFans TV.
I know. I should do it on OnlyFans.
There is money to be made, Whitney.
I'm too afraid I'll poop. Everyone says during childbirth, you either poop or die, one of the two.
Wow.
So you go to therapy every 2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
And I just kind of talked to him because I think I wouldn't really vent.
Him. That's a male therapist. Yeah, you could skip a week. Every 2 weeks is fine.
Yeah, well, I used to go weekly, and then my schedule just got really busy. And then I would sometimes go, and I didn't have enough to talk about.
Oh, that's the worst when you feel like you're bombing for your therapist.
I'm like 40 minutes in, he's checking the clock. He's like, so when do you want to do it next week? I'm like...
So, God, I'm kind of insecure that Nate Bargatze got SNL.
Or I'm like asking him, I'm like, yo, what have you been up to? How are you, man? I will say the funniest thing is, like, since it's Zoom therapy, one time I had like 10 minutes to kill before therapy. Men rubbed one out. You hate that saying.
God.
Jerked off. I don't know what the professional...
I was listening to your podcast last night.
Yeah.
My new thing I hate the most is bricked up.
Bricked up is great. Bricked up is great. That's how you got the baby, Whitney.
I hate it.
Bricked up. But if you ever jerk off before therapy or masturbate before therapy, it is hilarious. You click enter and he's like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm lighting a cigarette. I'm like, I don't even smoke, but I'm good, man. How are the kids? He's like, I don't have kids. I'm like, up. I'll see you next week.
I heard on your podcast that you sometimes jerk off on all fours. Or I
wait,
guess,
what?
I guess that would be threes. Wait,
Threes? 3-point stance?
Or that, what
Hold
would
on,
that be? Or in doggy style? Like,
doggy style.
do you put a hand on the wall?
I've done that.
How does that? I always thought that guys jerked off by like the way that you like stand at a urinal, like with your hand up. Like
Maybe if you're like 57.
I don't.
No, I like what I'll do, and this is insane, but whatever. I'll like as if I'm in doggy, like on the bed with my knees kind of folded, and then I just put an old t-shirt or a towel, and then you just kind of into it, and
But yeah.
then bada bing, bada boom, and then you throw it on the ground and you roll over and pretend it never happened. And that's my nighttime Merlot. That's my little nightcap.
So I'm sorry I interrupted you. We're talking to your therapist about something.
Oh, just like how I should feel about this.
About your special?
Yeah, it's just like it's a lot of eyes at once. And I'm used to if something blows up, it stems from like everything goes out to my audience first.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it gets big and they share it, then it kind of goes viral and reaches out to the masses. But it's always like it played at the home court first.
Sure.
And then it gets shared out. But being on Amazon and Prime, it's like they just post it. And I mean, they have a whole bunch of stuff. There's like a bunch of like, there's like a BTS show on there. There's like sitcoms, there's rom-coms.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have no idea who I am. Be like, let's just put this on.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's in front of you instead of like, if I post a video and it goes viral, it's getting shared out there and it's slowly making its way to the people. It's
On
making
Amazon, it's like after you buy something, it's like users who bought, this toilet paper to jerk off with
Yeah,
also
fleshlights.
watched. Yeah.
Trevor Wallace's Pterodactyl.
Yeah, like what products are you
Yeah.
do you have to buy to be suggested
Yeah,
your
I don't know.
special?
But that's what's so cool about being integrated with them. Essentially, whole story, the therapist is like, it's just change. You don't like change. And this is essentially, the way I equate it is like, I'm in 8th grade.
Or an uncertainty.
Yeah, it's like I'm in 8th grade, I'm going to high school. In that gap of like, what's high school going to be like? This is the next level. What does this feel like? And then tomorrow when it comes out, it's out now, but like, I'm going to be a weekend and be like, oh yeah, this is great. Like this is.
But is there also some kind of like surrender of control of not being able to watch numbers and not being able to watch views?
And since there's no view counter, it is kind of nice because I think if there was, I'd keep refreshing and I'd want to know. And I think now I can just ask the people over at Amazon, maybe in like a week or a month and see how it's doing.
But also like specials are very much word of mouth. I think it takes a while. And, you're going to be putting it on your socials.
It's not an overnight banger. Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
But those are like the big anticipated or the surprise drops. Like, oh, Chappelle put out this.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's just new to me. I don't know what to expect. I haven't done a lot of traditional. And instead of putting it on YouTube, this was my version of being like internet guy does traditional.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have the duality of both.
Yeah.
So I can be bi-weekly on that. But so it's just new to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainties.
You have a joke in your special about first date energy.
Yeah.
You brought it up earlier.
The dumbest stuff you'll ever say.
You must just be dating up a storm.
Dating a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just
And how you meeting them?
So I just got on Hinge like maybe a couple months. I don't really check it that much. It's weird. It's not. It feels.
Don't lie to me.
It feels
Don't
like a bunch
lie
of
to my
rejects
face
of
right now.
Raya's.
We're real friends. Don't lie to me.
I'm not.
Really?
What?
So you go on Hinge, you pop in, and then just pop out.
Yeah, I like will look at it because to me it doesn't feel real.
Mm-hmm.
It like if you meet somebody after a show, you give a number, you have a consensus of like kind of who this person is. But when you just match with somebody, you exchange a couple messages, you're like, what equity do they have to need to respond to me?
It's a video game. Well, you're famous.
It's
and
a
successful.
video game. Tell that to Ryan.
Are you still not on
No,
Raya?
no,
way.
It's me and my friend Young Gravy are the only two guys I know that aren't.
What's
on
his last name?
Who?
You and your friend who?
Young Gravy. You know him.
What?
Massive rapper. Don't do this. I'm trying to make you look young, Whitney.
I'm
Young
not-
Gravy. Just say you. Just be like
I just learned who Junebug is or Jelly Roll.
No, you hang out with
Junebug. That's the shit you have equity in. That's June Shine. I just learned who Junebug is. What in the? I was gonna say you've been drinking, but you have a child, so I don't know.
Hold on. How do I go?
No, you know Young Gravy. He's just
Edit
look in this
profile.
camera and say, I know Young Gravy.
I know Young Gravy.
There
and
you
I'm
go.
a big fan. And
Yeah.
Funlove.com. Ooh, suka now is a leading online retailer of sensual health and wellness products offering the widest selection of premier brands. For those of you that are listening, not watching, I am using a very sexy whip to the camera and I am hitting myself in the eye. It has the widest selection of premier brands of toys, lingerie, and accessories. They have everything from soft and sexy to hot and spicy. So go indulge and find unforgettable presents and gifts for people on your list at funlove.com. Discover. Look, did you see me just get, that's not called choked up, but that's a different thing. I didn't get choked up. That's later. No, this is a candle. No, this is wax. Wait, this is it's a massage candle. Look at this. And the candle says, this smells like we're gonna have sex. It's all so cheeky. I love it. Discover the allure of Intrigue Intimate Products, a collection of premier his, hers, and couples toys exclusively available at funlove.com. The collection features sensual toys in all shapes, colors, and sizes. Each toy has a sleek and playful design element and multiple features and functions. Browse a wide variety of vibrators, beads, bullets, rabbits, G-spot toys, dildos, massagers, body wands, and bondage kits, and find whatever tickles your fancy. Intrigue Intimate Products are only available at funlove.com. For a limited time, you're going to receive 50% off Funlove's exclusive Intrigue collection when you enter the code GOOD4YOU at funlove.com. Again, enter code GOOD4YOU, receive 50% off Intrigue at funlove.com. You earned it. So I'm pregnant. I'm going to doctors pretty much constantly. I mean, it's kind of all you do. I had a thyroid thing. My hair just randomly started falling out. I didn't know if it was connected to the thyroid thing, but you need a doctor to tell you, because if you go on WebMD, you're just going to think you have cancer. I also needed insoles because my feet started looking like legumes. I had weird broken blood vessels. I have one on my eyelid. So I had to go find like a laser for that. It's just a nightmare. But thank God for ZocDoc, a free app where you can find amazing doctors and book appointments online. We're talking about booking appointments with thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for the ones that take your insurance, are located near you, and treat almost any condition you are searching for, like an eyelid burst blood vessel. These doctors all have verified reviews from actual real patients, not bots. The average wait time to see a doctor booked on ZocDoc is between just 24 and 48 hours. That's it, folks. You can even score same-day appointments. Take that, nightmare healthcare in America. ZocDoc is coming to save the day. Once you find the doc you want, you can book them immediately with just a few app taps. No more awkwardly waiting on hold with a receptionist. No more listening to weird saxophone music for 20 minutes, only for the call to be disconnected and for you to call back and the receptionist being disgusted by how despicable you are for wanting to get that skin cancer cut off your face. I'm sorry, am I bothering you, ma'am, with my skin cancer? I use ZocDoc when I'm in a jam or when I'm in a pickle. ZocDoc handles both jams and pickles. When I have an issue that I can't wait 4 weeks to get in for, I go to ZocDoc. I find the doctor close to me, takes my insurance, bada bing, bada boom, and look at that. My eye's not bleeding anymore. What a concept. Go to ZocDoc.com/Whitney and download the ZocDoc app for free, and then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/Whitney, ZocDoc.com/Whitney. Do you really want to be on Raya and be amongst these tools? I think that honestly, it hurts you if a girl sees you on Raya.
I'm just gonna hit X on all of them, right? Because I don't want.
Or yeah, do whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then if you press their photo, you can see other photos of them.
What?
Narrate what you're looking at.
Creative director. This guy's his entrepreneur.
Everyone
actor.
is a creative director. Everyone on that app is a creative director.
This guy. Huh.
Is that Jeff Dye?
No.
Working at Olive Garden?
Wait,
why? Terrence. Okay.
Not a bad looking guy.
A healthcare consultant. What does that mean?
Xanax.
Is he going to put...
He sells Ozempic.
I was going to say, does he have Oxy?
Yeah, but his bio is 41 on a dating app, just like I planned.
I don't know. Look at the next photo. Also, guys that put their photo in black and white always think they're cooler than they are.
Oh, wait, he lives in Amsterdam.
Go back.
I don't know how to use
Press him. Yeah, you'll see the other photos. Is there a dog that's not his?
Dog.
Is there a girl cropped out? What is that? Why are you a healthcare consultant with a headshot?
He was on CSI Miami.
I can't.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No. Why does he have?
Oh, photo of a motorcycle.
No.
What's worse, the fish pic or the motorcycle?
And how? And by the way, I do appreciate a guy that can fish.
Yeah,
But
that's what the thing is.
because
Like,
most
it
of them
does
just take
work.
me to Long John Silver's, and
Hey.
that's a bummer. But
Okay, this
I
CEO.
also think if you're a
crazy.
healthcare consultant and you're riding a motorcycle, like, I don't know.
Also, when people
me
like
see.
write too much in their bio, I'm like,
Let's see.
save it for
Let's
the
see.
autobiography.
Let's see. Read it.
Single dad, CEO, pilot.
Right.
First of all, put work first. Fuck that kid. CEO, then single dad,
Yeah.
pilot,
Way to
pickleball
bury
lover.
the lead.
But this is a CEO. Like, he literally might just own Microsoft, and we have no idea.
Is that Adrian Grenay with Down syndrome?
It is.
Okay,
and
don't
you-
out the
Well,
person.
you can.
Okay, that's a good point. Oh, great. Give Pat another chore.
Yeah.
Let's read the bio.
Oh, that's the guy from.
That's don't say his name.
That's a boy band guy.
That's Joey Fatone. Is this allowed? I'm gonna get.
Oh, shit.
Don't ruin my life.
Wait, connect with
Joey.
that
Oh,
one.
put heart and see if he
Heart
matches
him.
with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Heart him.
that.
Heart him.
Heart him.
I know. I will.
Hit the heart.
But dude, for being as successful as he is, let's get some more updated photos.
Is that him?
You don't have one Getty image?
Who heart him and see if he hearted me.
Oh, I
Also, let me
will.
see what does his bio say.
Is
Is it 98? How about let's make it 100
what makes me
degrees?
interesting? No clue. You be the judge. Dude, that's fucking. Huh?
It's no Young Gravy.
Yeah.
Heart
But
him?
if I was on here, this is my competition. Hearted.
He didn't. We didn't match.
Not yet.
Okay.
There's a dog actively trying to make love with me.
I'm sorry.
Wow, that was exciting.
This is.
Why does it feel exciting? Is that
There's
how,
lots of celebrities on here. I
is
remember.
that how girls feel when they see me on Hinge? Oh my god.
Yeah, kind of. What's your Hinge? What's the line?
What's
your
my
line?
what's my screen name?
Like, what's your like line?
I have a gun.
Is it?
No.
That's
no,
actually
no.
a really good one.
No.
That's great. Actually, I would swipe right on that.
No, I don't know. There's like a bunch of different prompts. It's not just like one.
Well, what is it?
Well, I answered one of the prompts and it was like, what most irrational fear? I said the movie Bug's Life. What do women say about you? I just like overly exaggerating here. I was like, I'm just too much of a lover. And then like a bunch of like emojis, like this one, like jokingly, like cringe on purpose.
Yeah.
And then it was like, what's your hot take? I was like, sprinkles. I was like, croutons are just sprinkles for a salad.
Okay. Yes.
It's just stupid
yes,
shit.
silly goose. So, what is a something that bothers you that girls put in their dating profile?
I'll tell you.
Love this.
It's a lot of the same shit. And I don't think I have a great
And
profile.
I don't think girls know that they're doing it.
They're the same.
I don't think guys do either. So like
Of course.
on the Raya dating app, you can add a song. And when I tell you 20% of the guys put Mbop by Hanson because they think it's like funny, it's like a stupid song, like, or they'll put a joke song. And it's like,
Yeah.
I know you think this is funny, but most guys do it.
Yeah.
Like, what's the thing girls are doing like that?
It's a lot of it's literally
Like not an influencer.
get out. I need an influencer.
Or it's like,
I'm kidding. No,
red flag.
But it's like the same thing. It's like just need somebody to get spicy margaritas with, looking for the best espresso martini in town. Or it'll be like,
What? What's your age? You need to go younger. It sounds like you're dating women in
Younger?
their
No.
40s. Rosé all day.
all these Hinge is filled with alcoholics. Every girl on there is like, just the place to drink Aperol Spritz, just the place to get me out of my HR job. Alcohol. It's like, what about a book?
Whoa. They're
It's
like, you don't need to roofie me. I'll pass myself out.
That's what I write. No, I don't write that. But it's a lot of like, it's like, one of the prompts is like, I will fall in love for you. And then they write, if you trip me. And I'm like, what are you doing? A tight 5 here?
Oh, gosh.
It's like that. It's a lot
Bummer.
it's either that or it's like the most irrational fear of like men, which like, yeah, I get. There's a lot of guys out there, but as a guy, what am I supposed to like heart that and be like, hey, these guys suck, right?
Oh, that's a bummer.
I don't like being on there. So it's like I don't check it actively. I'll like check it like I check the mail. Also, do you still get mail from the resident who used to live here? Do you ever return it? Yeah.
No.
I like get their mail and this bitch is about to go to jail. I don't know what to do. It says like eviction. It's like, please open. And there's bigger and bigger stamps. And I'm like, what am I going to find her?
So the mail from your previous owner of your house, you're getting a lot of wild shit.
Yeah. And they keep having like stamps that says like,
her
please
stuff's
open.
going to collections because you won't send her mail. I mean,
why am I a part of this? Why? She's clearly running from something. It says like foreclosure. It says, I got one recently. God, it was like a word I hadn't seen in a while. It was like a good thesaurus word. I don't know.
I want to know about these dates you're going on. What are women doing wrong on dates with you?
I don't think it's what are women doing wrong. I think I just like, I think my,
Because I have a theory. I think you need to date a little older
yeah.
for a bit. Okay. When I
Yeah.
hear younger guys complain, I'm like, they're like, and then she makes me take photos of her. And then I had to pay and I spent all this money and she lives with 9 roommates and she's in debt. And I'm just over here.
Yeah.
Like in my fully paid for I'm like, I may have a couple lines on my face, but like,
yeah. Yeah.
like-
I just, you know what I want? I want a girl who loves her job. I don't, because I love what I do
ooh,
so much.
that's a great one. That's a great one.
So I like kind of look for that. If they're talking about work and I'm like, yeah, oh, that's cool.
Because if
Do you
someone
like it?
doesn't like their job, they're always going to be miserable and you have to hear about it.
It's just,
I don't care what your job is as long as you love it.
well, you also feel bad for liking your job.
Mhm.
If I come back, how were the shows? It's so great, so
Ooh.
fun. Just did this city. It was awesome. I got a premiere on Tuesday. I got this and that. And then you're like, how was work? Oh, it was terrible. You're like,
I'm just over here loving my job. I might be a little older. I love my job. I've got athletic greens in a glass canister. I've got hand soap in every bathroom. My paid off.
Yeah.
I'm going to therapy weekly, not even bi-weekly.
Yeah.
I have a bowl of limes downstairs. Real limes.
Damn,
And I know what to do with them.
I don't.
Okay.
I just get the fake foam ones and
I
bite
have a
into them
deck
when
of
I'm
cards
bored.
in every room. I don't even
Actually?
know why.
Do you really?
This is what happened. Yeah, I got cards everywhere. I
Huh.
got the real Anthony Fauci. I got every
Fauci writing books now?
guy.
Get that guy in a lab. He started 2019. Even the dogs are fired up. Jordan Peterson, say it, boy.
Have you ever dated someone older?
I've been on dates with women who are older,
Mm-hmm.
but not like dated.
How is it
dated.
different?
It does seem a little more like, is this a thing or not?
Mm-hmm.
Mama's got a shot clock.
Whoa.
It does seem a little more like there's no room for games, but I like that.
Interesting.
It's like, I need a middle ground because like a 25-year-old would be like, hee, play games. I'll text you in 4 days. I'm like, what do you mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You're going to snap streak.
Yeah.
4 days.
See, you know everything.
I'm very young.
Young gravy. Yeah.
Just a little teen mom here.
Yes. What a show that was. 16 and pregnant.
Mhm.
What was it? Teen Mom? All
Yeah.
of those.
Wild.
But 25-year-olds play too many games because it's like, I'm hot. I need to have some mystery. I get that, right?
Mhm.
But
You bite when you give blowjobs. I already can tell.
yeah, of course.
You use your teeth. You still haven't figured that out. What's all
Yeah,
this
or
arrogance?
they're like on Snapchat sucking you off. You're like, are we making money on this? Use the flash. Come on. Or, I mean, if they're like, a little older than me, then it feels very much like there was a big relationship before you.
Oh.
And now you don't know how soon after. Also, like, Hinge feels like an emergency room where everybody's just like injured. And you're like, who needs to be seen first?
Yeah.
And there's like a 39-year-old who's like, I've been through all of it and I don't even have health insurance. And then there's like a 25-year-old who's like, I just got a little cut, but I'm okay. But that cut is deep. Cut is deep. And then I'm in there just delusional.
And she got the cut from a TikTok challenge that went horribly wrong.
Yes, or an ex.
She's in there because she ate a Tide Pod.
But it just feels like you're in a room where everybody's coming from a story, and you don't know what that story is. And a lot of times it's just normal.
Yeah.
They weren't dating or they dated a few relationships. But like, what's interesting about Hinge is it tells you, it'll be like how new they are. It'll be like new here. It's like, oh, so you're just fresh out of a relationship.
Yes.
Like nobody's just like sitting around for 8 months like, oh, I could use a dating app. What
It
is
is true.
this
I
new modern
definitely go
technology?
back on the dating app after something's over.
Yeah, but like
I'm
when
definitely like, someone distract me. So that's the worst energy to go into it with.
Exactly. And also they haven't healed from that previous relationship. So they're still
I haven't healed from 6 relationships ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Because you're just like, I feel like, do you ever take time to just be single or like
that's what I'm
not
doing.
date,
That's what I'm doing like right now.
but you're actively not dating?
I'm not actively dating, but if it comes up organically, I think also the last part of the last like 3 months was a lot of touring. I was in Australia, I was in New York, I was doing all this promo.
Yeah.
All of this for this lead up of tomorrow. And then after that, December, I'm not doing shit. I'm going to be here. I'm so excited just to settle in and just enjoy whatever I've worked to accomplish. And then when I have like a clear head and not like this, like, because in my head right now, it's just like a bunch of people yelling, like, you know, just like, oh, where's this promo? We need this special, but in like
Mhm.
December, like the whole industry off.
Yeah.
Agents and managers, they don't do shit in December. They go out of office.
Yeah. But you don't really, what are agents and managers doing for you? I guess
No,
the
they do a lot.
sponsor stuff.
They do a lot. Well, touring, like I love.
Oh,
my,
and of course, touring and sponsorship.
I love my team, but like, I
don't
don't
say team. Okay.
What?
What?
Is that inclusive?
What's up? No, just don't say team. Don't say my team. Don't say I love my team.
My squad, my army,
Your set of domes.
my set of domes, my paid domes. No, the people that I work with, not my team, my team. I love them.
Great.
They're so good. But I told them, I was like, I don't want to do anything in December because I just want to like let all the noise kind of like chill out. Then I can be like, okay, what do I actually want to do?
Yep. And it's also, do you remember the show Cheer on Netflix? About the cheerleaders that came out during the pandemic.
Yes,
You either watched it or you didn't. And it's about the best cheerleading squad in the country and
team.
Amazing. Pat, stop laughing at him.
No. Boost his audio. If anything.
We're not.
Boost his audio. I feel like I'm on your mom's
Pat
house.
is only laughing at you this episode, and I do not appreciate it.
Am I getting more laughs than Rob Riggle?
I don't. Yes.
Can somebody get more laughs?
They're louder. They're definitely louder. And it's kind of
Rob's great.
Annoying.
Pat
Pat never annoys me. Today's the first day that I cannot stand you.
Pat, welcome to my team.
I know, whole team.
Double down.
I feel like today's the day you're going to poach Pat. I forgot what I was even going to say. So this girl,
Cheer.
Morgan, gets really famous off Cheer. She gets 3 million followers on Instagram.
This is a real show or
real show?
Okay,
it's called Cheer. It's about a cheerleading squad. I don't know if you ever saw Last Chance U. It was a documentary. Same people made it.
You had a friend that was on it.
Maybe.
You,
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the coach is a good friend of mine now from Cheer, became a really big show. If you watch it, you'll love it in December when you're catching up on life. Anyway, so they did this huge tour. They get really famous. She's got like paid partnerships with Scrunchy and her own line of spandex, whatever. She's Tampax.
Also, if I'm blowing up and Scrunchy's knocking at the door, I'm like, bitch, bring me Bentley. Scrunchy? Imagine having a meeting with the CEO of Scrunchy.
Yeah, dude.
We'd like to do $4 billion in revenue with you. And I'm like, that's great.
So Morgan gets really famous, and I see her backstage in Austin after she does this huge show. It's 20,000 people. They're doing like whatever. And I asked her, I was like, so what are you going to do, for the summer? And she goes, I'm just going to take off some time to process.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't follow. And she's like, no, like this has just been crazy. I'm just going to take some time off to just like, I was like, I have never processed anything that has ever happened to me. I haven't processed getting.
Not even your food.
I am not getting like successful or. That sometimes we just have to take time to just stop and think because we're and stop doing a bad impression of ourselves, especially after specials. I think you really have to like stop down and make sure you're not just doing a bad impression of who you used to be. Yeah.
Well, you also have to like write new material and you sure you can look back at the old archives of the got cut that didn't make it. Or you're like, okay, where am I at in life right now? Looking around. Okay. So I want to start writing from here forward, You just got to kind of process.
What's your like writing process? Do you sit down and write?
So it's a mixture of things. Like my notes app is just flooded with full sentences to half a word, a paragraph. But voice memo is really where I talk a lot of things out.
Yeah.
And then in talking it out, I go, okay, that's the opening. That's kind of the middle. This is what I would end on. And then I kind of just try it on stage and then condense after that.
Are you secretly insecure?
Secretly?
Yeah. Are you insecure?
Very.
Really?
This
About
is
what?
terrifying for me.
Really?
The fear of people hating me, the fear of irrelevancy, the fear of the scary part about the internet is once people decide, it's hard to change their judgment about you. The internet will just turn on somebody. And once they've turned, I don't know an example, but I think it's just sometimes it's out of your control. And I just always want to be liked on the internet. Because maybe I came from a place where I wasn't super liked. Like I was with the cool kids, but I wasn't the coolest kid. I was in the back with the cool kids.
Like in high school?
Yeah.
You weren't a cool kid in high school?
I hung out with the cool kids, but I wasn't like the cool kid. Like
they kept you around just so they look cooler?
Yeah. Yeah. I always had sunscreen on me. So like get Trev here. But like the way I equate it was like I was on the Lakers, but I was on the bench, Cool team, but like not main player.
Right. But don't you think the cool kids are like didn't make it in life.
Yeah, and now the bench players are coming up.
Yes,
Yeah, because all these
Revenge
guys
of
are
the
on
Nerds.
heroin.
Always.
Revenge of the Nerds. It's not cool. Don't be cool in high school.
No, dude, be a nerd.
Maybe don't even be cool in college.
I mean, the jocks like are just loose. I mean, every person I know that was like a big jock that everyone thought was so cool and has like a fentanyl addiction and like.
How do you get addicted to fentanyl? Don't you just pretty soon after?
I mean, like.
I don't know. But I think the insecurities is stuff that I can't control. So something like this, the special, it's just a lot of eyes at once. And it's just like, let's say you're just taking 8 years of work of stand-up and then just condensing everybody's judgment on one thing. Since I don't really post a lot of stand-up clips, and when I do, it's crowd work. This is everyone's first judgment on my like stand-up. And the people that have seen me go up at the clubs, you're one of them. You're like, oh yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's doing his thing. Like,
and there is something that is, I don't know why this is, but why is there still a prejudice against people that got famous online?
Yeah, it'll always be
we
hard.
go, like, it can't be funny as a stand-up. Like, you can't.
Exactly.
What is that? Why do we do that?
Because
why do I do that?
I would imagine that you are thinking that they got a shortcut.
Yep.
It's like, oh, he didn't go to the open mics. Oh, I did. I was doing open mics in college. I moved here. My first 3 years, I was just only doing open mics. There's like I ran into some guys at the store last night, and we were just talking about like the open mic I go to every Monday. It was called Big Wangs. It was like a wing spot. Yeah, and it was like, and we were just like joking about the guys who came up out of there. And it's just like, and not to say that I'm like back in my day, but it's like, you know, you run into these guys, and it's like all these people I know in the LA, I guess from my class in LA, are like, yeah, man, you've put in a pretty good amount of work.
Yeah.
But it's some random guy in Des Moines watching the special, like, let's see what this guy's all about. But you watched it?
I watched it last night. I was so impressed. I honestly, one of the hardest things to do with the special is a title.
Oh yeah.
What were the runners up?
Birds and the Bees.
Okay.
Which I thought was cool. I didn't know if it was too one note. If somebody's like, it was just all just gonna be about it is.
Yeah.
But what I like about Pterodactyl, it kind of reminded me of Segura's last one, Sledgehammer. It's like, it's one word, it's strong. It
reminds me of Jeselnik's like Caligula.
Yeah,
too.
Exactly.
Just like one word. Or Chris Rock's Tambourine. Like, I gotta know what that joke is. Like, I gotta know why he called it.
And
that.
I don't even think Pterodactyl is the strongest joke in there by far, but I just think there's a few callbacks to it, and I think it's memorable.
100%.
You know,
it's weird, and it's like, what? It's just bold. It's bold and like,
you just remember it.
Yeah.
You know, if I named it something like, another one I had was Just a Thought. Like, just a thought. Because I remember I was doing a show.
I don't know what it means.
Yeah, exactly. It's also like it's too like, whoa, mysterious. Oh, just a thought. You know, like the other one was.
It's a little just like, huh? It's not nor here nor there.
It doesn't make me.
It would be called the new Trevor Wallace joint or the new Trevor Wallace special instead of Pterodactyl.
Or just Dome. You know.
Yeah.
Also,
just a thought. It minimizes it. It's like just a thing. It means it's not grandiose and regal.
The other one was going to be Spirit Fingers from the Carrot Cake joke, or just Carrot Cake. Spirit Fingers I liked. I just thought of the marketing behind it. And I was just like, I was thinking about like just some jack dude who only watches fucking Andrew Tate. Is he gonna be like, Spirit Fingers? You think I'm gonna watch Spirit Fingers? What is this, Cheer? You know, like I wanted right down the middle where it's like, it's like a pterodactyl doesn't inflict anybody's life. It's not like they're like, I used to date a pterodactyl. Like, it's just right down the middle. It's just like, oh, what?
Naming specials is actually really hard.
Yeah. How'd you come up with Mouthy?
Mouthy was, all of my specials, I feel like people.
You just looked at your Instagram comments, you're like, this bitch Mouthy. And you're like, bingo.
I kind of like started realizing that I think it really helps me to just call myself out on the things people accuse me of. Like, if you just get yourself, it's hard to get got. And I think for the longest time, I just tried to course correct either my energy or my personality or the way that I comported myself or the way that I write or the way that I promote based on negative comments I get. And just hope that like they noticed, or just I'm in terms of negative comments, like, I don't know. For me, sometimes I think it's constructive criticism and it's helpful. Saying like she's a dumb, like, I don't really know what to do with that.
Yeah.
But like if
Can't
someone
really go back to the drawing board with that.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't really know what to do. If that.
Smart.
But if someone's like, oh my God, why is she so loud? The jokes are good, but she's like yelling. And I'm like, you know what? That's a good point. I need to make sure that I calibrate that later. I need to stop like, acting like I have 5,000 people or trying to reach the person in the back row instead of just like talking to the camera in a special. Like, it took me
I like the one word specials.
Me too.
It's quick. Cause I always think about specials are a lot of word of mouth, so it's like, what are two guys, at work be like, dude, have you seen what do they say? That new Trevor Wallace special? Or they're like, dude, have you seen, it's like Pterodactyl or something. It's like some dinosaur.
Yeah.
But some dinosaur is better than like, it's like just a thought. What do you mean? Oh, like the special is just, no, it's called just like, I don't want any confusion.
That's a really interesting way to put it. Like when people they always ask me what they should name their dogs. And I always just say, don't name them anything that rhymes with a command. Someone's like, I'm naming my dog Bo. I'm like, that's the worst thing you could do.
Oh, really?
Right? Bo, because Bo rhymes with no. That's the terrible name for a dog. Like Rambo. It's like, well, then when you say no, they're going to go like, what? You know what I mean?
Dude, a lot of people come to you for dog names.
Yeah.
But like it fits. Like I'm not even trying to talk but like
I know.
that fits your energy in the best way possible.
I also looked and I was like, oh, that is how you spell pterodactyl. Like it just kept my attention.
Crazy word.
You like made a little puzzle for people. And I think that's such a big part of our job now is to just get people's attention by any means necessary.
Yeah. So what were the run-ups for Mouthy?
Mouthy. You know what? For some reason, this one kind of stuck right away.
There was no other.
Yeah. Like I try not to be too defensive, but I kind of do tend to play defense in my special title. So the one before, the Netflix one before this was just called Jokes because I felt like so many comedians were like doing these like self-righteous monologues on stage and we're settling for clapter instead of actual jokes. And it was we're going to make a statement about gender and this. And I was like, this is all just jokes. This is silly, ridiculous jokes.
It's also nice because you can't get mad at something called jokes.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with my podcast. It's called Stiff Socks. If you like listen to anything, you're like, wow, I can't believe these guys just said this about it's called Stiff Socks.
What is going on with you?
Imagine putting out in a public in an article, quoted from the Sticky Sock podcast. It's like if you just go out like what you said, it's like if you call yourself Mouthy, it's like and somebody comments it like,
like she's really she's got these crazy opinions and then if someone is like, oh, she said this thing about this in her special. Yeah, because they're jokes. I don't know what to tell you. It's also the same reason like doing it on OnlyFans TV. It's like the roasts, like someone going like they made a joke. They said tranny on OnLifans TV. It's like, dude, that's the least wild thing.
Tune in for the second season.
Exactly. You're kind of like, well, you were the one that was down in the gutter with us. Like you knew what you were signing up for.
Yeah. So it's on OFTV, and then are you gonna clip it up and put it out a bunch of places? Or?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I'm the first person that's ever done a special, obviously on OFTV. Yeah. So hopefully it does well. It's kind of like on their homepage, but you kind of it's just oftv.whitney, and it's free too, which I think helps because right now you're kind of like just putting a link out.
Yes,
it doesn't really matter what the freaking link is. Like I remember when I did Two Broke Girls, like people would come up to me and they would be like, your show changed my life. I've seen every episode. I quit my job that I hate and I started a new job because of it. And I live for Two Broke Girls.
What episode was that? I didn't even watch that shit. It's like ayahuasca.
The question I would always ask is, oh, really? It's your favorite show? What network is it on? They'd be like, I'm like, so you've seen every episode. Yeah. It's your favorite show.
Yeah.
And you can't even tell me what network it's on.
But that's still a problem to this day. People will come up to me, like, I love your podcast. And I go, oh, before I even like finish, I'm like, say thank you. They're like, yeah, those clips are great. Never seen an episode, but I love the clips. There will be people who because they just follow the clips. Clips are just like putting out, it's like, I don't know. It's like, it feels like you're just putting kind of out there. And if you get the bite, they either like take the bite and leave, or they go and be like, whoa, what's
the common denominator in when your podcast clips, asking for a friend, that do well? Like, it's so interesting because I feel like I know how to write television. I know how to write movies. I know how to make specials. But when you're kind of like, Chris Stefano, I love you. Do I think your Tupperware clip should have been as big as him just not being able to pronounce the word Tupperware? Yeah. Like, so are you like, because you're so savvy with social media, are you like, I know why that did well. I get why that did well. Or sometimes you're just like, I'm kind of throwing fan and course correcting and just
yes and no. I feel like a guy, like if you can't, like I have a pulse on like what could do well, or if you give me a clip, I can like tell you how to edit it to try and get the best clicks and views. I feel like I don't know 100%, but like it's like the guys who know the stock market, like, oh, you should invest in this, like that's like my kind of bread and butter. But
is it more gut instinct, or is it more like, look, 60-second ones do well, 40-second ones don't at 3:00 on Wednesdays?
It's more so like when a clip goes big, I can go, oh, this is why it went big. Mm-hmm. It's got good retention rate. It's got a lot of shareability. Mm-hmm. I've noticed that whenever anything of mine gets big, it's because it's either topical, trending, or it's very shareable. Yeah. When I make fun of a certain type of guy, like when I made fun of like the Subaru people, like those creatures, it's just people watch it. You watch it and then you tag so-and-so who has one. Mm-hmm. And then there's an action to it.
And also, like, it's what great comedy does, great stand-up,
Yeah.
which is like, it's true. Like, it strikes a nerve. It also has to be correct.
But what's great is somebody will watch it and then it has an action item and they're sending it to their friend. And podcast clips is kind of hard because it's like, usually people looking dumb on podcasts does better because it's like, look at these guys. But like you and I just having a conversation, somebody at home probably wouldn't tag somebody in it to be like, this is so relatable. Because it's like, oh, this is a great conversation.
But me getting bi-monthly wrong or something like that.
Yes.
It's like, I know people that do that.
I had one that went kind of, I don't know about viral, but it got a views on our podcast because I thought 10 year, you know 10 year?
Yeah.
I thought that was 10 years. Is it not? But like, I had no idea.
No, that literally means forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I thought you got 10 year by working at like a school for 10 years.
You know what?
It's
an honest mistake. It's not a bad mistake to make.
But what it is, it felt real. It's like,
it showed a little vulnerable, sweet moment because you're always so on top of it. You're so funny. Like,
exactly. I think people like that type of stuff.
Yeah. People like to see a vulnerable
like
moment.
The Basement Yard. You know them? Joe Santagato and Frankie?
Yeah, I think so.
Those guys have such good banter and they're constantly like finding out something about each other. I'm like, hold on, you eat hot dogs sideways? Like, yeah, what's wrong with that? And then it's like
when he found out Bert drank Kool-Aid.
Yes. It's these innocent, so podcast clips do well when it's like these innocent Miranda. I guess I do cuss a little. Like it was her. It was genuine. And it's those moments.
I'm still in a weird lawsuit with
her?
Akon about this. Yeah. Me and Miranda are now suing each other.
What? Akon?
So, okay. So
you about to be locked up.
So Miranda Cosgrove comes on the podcast. I said, what's your favorite curse word?
Yeah.
Probably I think it might be the #1 sound on TikTok. I have one TikTok video that has like 178 million views or something. And the rest are like 7 million, 6 million.
You should have named the special probably.
I should have. So this thing goes viral, obviously. And Akon does a song called Probably Fuck. And he takes the audio and it's like, what we gonna do tonight, girl? And it goes, probably fuck.
Miranda's voice is in it.
The whole thing.
Wait, who's suing? He's suing you?
No, it comes out and then everyone's like, you can't let this happen. It's also Miranda, who's the sweetest person. And I'm like, this girl has worked so hard she's the only actress or performer that hasn't, shown her.
She sounds stressed out. She sounds like she needs like a man in her life.
What?
A man who's like charming and
man who
loves dinosaurs.
All of a sudden looks like he's staring into the sun. I don't know.
That was my romantic face.
Why would
I don't know.
All right, y'all know about Quip toothbrushes because you know that I'm obsessed with them. They're sleek, they're chic, and they're actually hygienic, but they're water flosser. Do you know about this water flosser? So I hated flossing because you have to use that tiny little rope and cut into your fingers and just everything and everyone is bleeding. It's no good. The water flosser hits all the right spots with gentle or deep clean pressure at the touch of a button. Look at this extra wide lid that fits right under the faucet, fills up in seconds. The cordless rechargeable battery lasts up to 8 weeks with daily use. No bulky charging dock or tangled cords that a burglar could use against you when they intrude into your home. Blast away up to 99.9% of plaque from treated areas with precision thanks to the 360-degree rotating magnetic floss tip that snaps right into place. Look at that. Boom. Easy to control water flow that leaves you feeling squeaky clean. And the toothbrush, let's talk about that for a second. The Quip electric toothbrush is loved by over 9 million mouths with stylish, affordable electric brushes. They start at $25, so you're not going to be paying through the teeth for better oral health. That would just be too ironic, wouldn't it? If you go to getquip.com/Whitney right now, you are going to get 20% off any electric toothbrush, mint and gum dispenser, or water flosser. The holidays are here, you guys. The new year is here. You can't be running around with halitosis. Okay, you can't. There's no excuse anymore. We're not wearing masks anymore. Get it together. Get your mouth in order. 20% off any electric toothbrush, mint and gum dispenser, or water flosser at getquip.com/Whitney. Spelled GETQUIP.com/Whitney. Quip, the Good Habits Company. It's the holiday season. I want to talk to you about my favorite company on the planet. You know this about me. It's called Etsy. If you're like me, you are on a mission to find handcrafted, affordable gifts made by independent sellers. That's my kink. Whether you're searching for custom home pieces like cutting boards, linens, and throw pillows for your favorite holiday hosts, or personalized items like purses, necklaces, and seasonal jackets for your most stylish friends and family, Etsy has it. I buy literally everything on Etsy. You know this about me. I just bought a bunch of cottagecore prairie type dresses. Literally, I just type in cottagecore button prairie dress collar because I have decided that after I give birth, I would like to start dressing like Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. I don't know how else I'm going to get a husband. Etsy also kind of a dating app. They button at the top in case I lose my mind and do decide to breastfeed like an Amish person. So I did all that. I got my next year's identity in order. It's great if you're engaging in cosplay, trying to change your clothes in order to change your personality. I'm doing all my holiday shopping on Etsy. So what I usually do is I'll just look up vintage animal figurines. It's a gold mine, you guys. I find like the weirdest vintage animals I can find, give them to my friends for their desk or their home or whatever, because everyone loves a vintage animal figurine. And if you don't, you can kindly go to hell. Okay. I also get vintage holiday ornaments on there. I just type in farmhouse Christmas. You will be dazzled by the visual feast of rustic stuff that heals your heart and fixes your childhood. That's what Etsy does to me. If you're new to Etsy, use the code HOLIDAY10 for 10% off your first purchase. That's code HOLIDAY10. Maximum discount value of $50. Expires December 31st, 2023. See terms at etsy.com/terms for handcrafted and affordable gifts for everyone on your list. Etsy has it. Shop etsy.com.
So who's suing who in this? Send me with Miranda. Who's suing who in this?
I'm dying for you and Miranda to get married.
It'll happen. We'll get married in her backyard.
Is that where her stalker almost killed her? Let's stay.
No, your backyard.
Oh, in my backyard is fine.
Yeah,
okay.
The groomsman will be a coyote.
Okay, so the one time I was like, oh my God, I'm going to like set them up and introduce them to each other. You happen to have a giant.
The Burt Kreischer. I had like a stomach on me with like chest hair. And I messaged her the next day. I was like, hey, sorry, I met you with a fake stomach on. Nothing.
She didn't text you back.
But we follow each other, so there is something there.
Yes. No.
And she watches every podcast, so.
It was. What? Someone tried to kill her with a gun. Maybe don't.
That's why I switched to the heart.
Shooting
I switched
at
the heart.
her. Okay.
I switched the heart.
So yeah, so literally when I was
who's suing who? You're suing Akon?
So Akon, so they're like, oh, we need to send him like a cease and desist. Because
let him have it. It's Akon. He's got a big dick.
If anyone else wants it, they can have it. Especially
just because he got money?
No. Do you remember when he like humped a 14-year-old girl on stage, and then he said
put a song out about it.
And then have you heard the apology song that he did?
But, okay, I talked to my friends about this recently. Like it blows my mind. They're like, hey man, you should probably apologize. And he's like, I will. I'll also make millions of dollars doing it.
But by the way,
he drags Gwen Stefani in it.
To apologize the things I've done and things that haven't occurred yet. All the things
he's protecting himself in the future, Whitney. He's smart.
This is the lawyer wrote this song.
But he also goes,
I'm sorry for the times I left you home. I was on the road and you were alone. I'm sorry the fact that I did not know. Now it gets passive aggressive. Sorry for all the things I did not know because I can't read your mind.
Just gaslighting.
He's being such an asshole.
Yeah, this is okay. You can tell what the lawyer wrote versus what he wrote. He got notes, and then he's like. But the funniest part is he brings Gwen Stefani in. He's like, I was on tour with Gwen Stefani. She's like, leave me out of this.
Can I please
leave me out of
not
this?
Deal with this?
But yeah, he made a song about it, and it's got like millions of like views and streams.
I understand that there's some problems. Yeah, you humped a 14-year-old on stage.
How did the publisher be like, oh yeah, put that out? And he's like, oh no, this is about a friend.
I'm sorry, all the things that he put you through. Who's that?
Third person.
And I'm sorry for the times you didn't know what to do. This is the worst nursery rhyme I've ever read. Oh, and even though Pops treated us like kings, he got a second wife and you didn't agree. It doesn't even rhyme. Like, that's how badly they're...
Wait, can you read the part about Gwen Stefani? I just love how she just catches a stray in this.
That is so... I'm sorry for Club Zen getting shut down.
Okay, that's personal.
That's one of the lines in
It
there.
got shut down because of this?
I'm sorry that it took too long to see, and they were dead wrong trying to put it on me. I'm sorry that it took so long to speak, but I was on tour with Gwen Stefani.
Like,
but that's actually a good lyric because she has a song called Don't Speak.
oh.
So that's actually what that was, right?
I mean, it's like funny to flex in an apology. I wanted to do a video a long ass time ago that was like the producer when he was recording Lonely. And the producer's like, "Yeah, are you good, man?" It's like, lonely, so lonely. And the guy's like,
I'm Mr. Lonely.
he's like, "Should we pause? Do you need a hug?"
So we send like a cease and desist because I'm actually
no.
I'm a little more.
Akon.
Fuck that guy.
He put lights. He put lights up for his country. He put like so many lights.
It's called Senegal. Is where he's from. You don't remember this? That this
Look,
girl, you have seen this girl on stage that he brought up on stage and like dry humped her. She was 15 years old. Oh my God. Why can't I get into anything?
Everything has got ad blockers.
How do I get out of these ad blockers? I don't even know what to do. Well, it's right there. See, this is how he avoided jail time. The jury didn't want to go through the ad blocker. I was like, I was fine.
No,
he seems innocent.
I'm not trying to back the fact of that.
It's just to do a song that's about like, let's go. It's Miranda Cosgrove being like, probably. And I'm like, either pay her for it, pay us. It's my property because we own our podcasts. Like you probably own your podcast. Like there's so few things that we own. And I know that he just went, oh, these are girls. Who gives a shit? I'm just going to steal this property from them and not credit them, not license it.
Is it a good song?
It's kind of a bop.
That's the part. That's the part.
But then I also was like, I invite Miranda Cosgrove, this angel.
It's kind of a bap, bap, bap.
Okay, I'm charging you for that.
Sorry.
Also Miranda Cosgrove, like I just feel like she comes on my podcast, we kind of become friends, and then I just like ruin her life.
Yeah, I got you.
Now every interview she does, they're like, say it. And she's like, probably fuck.
I know, I feel bad.
She was like a Nickelodeon squeaky clean delight, and as soon as we became friends, it's just her life. She's just like an animal now.
That is interesting.
Her life is just...
So what did Akon's people team say?
It was basically like a cease and desist of like, you guys need to pay us residual. Like, you know, like it would be like a co-writer on the song, or like you just option it, or, you know, you license it or whatever. Basically, the email back was essentially like, get in line. Like the number of lawsuits against Akon at this point, they were just like, this is going to take a couple years for us to like get to it.
Holy shit.
We're looking into it. Like they were just like, you know, that was kind of the response.
Wow.
And then it was like, oh, and then you have to pay a lawyer in order to sue somebody, you know? And I was like, I don't want it to get to sue, but I think they took it down like off the internet and stuff. But it was more being protective of Miranda.
I see that. Now, I get it now. At first I thought you were just like, man, fuck him, sue him.
No. I don't do that kind of all.
Yeah, you don't
know?
segment that person.
Yeah, I'm like, reparations. Black people take it. We also make money off our podcast.
We have so much going on in your life. It's like you're so busy already. It's like the last thing you want to do is be in a courtroom being like, they use my soundbite.
I kind of do. Would you guys not watch a live stream of me and Akon in court?
I'd watch a live stream of you guys doing something else, but not in court. Yeah.
It was just like this wild thing where it's like, because I know his logic. They were like, oh, it's fine.
Well, because it's came from like a girls. TikTok clip, but where it came from is so much bigger.
But if it was like you, they'd be like, let's call his lawyer. Let's just make sure this is cool. And you'd probably be like, it's fine, because you want to be friends with Akon so badly. But like didn't even email or ask permission or no, that's what it was.
Get him on the show.
They did email and ask permission, and I didn't respond to it, and they did it anyway.
How long before the email was sent before it came out? Was it like the next day, or they're like, hey, we want to use this?
I would rather have someone steal from me than check an email. So I don't know the answer to that.
Well, okay.
I cannot. I feel like at this point, checking email is checking the actual mailbox.
You know what pisses me off, and this is super niche, is how fast out of office responses come back. Like I've been working all morning to send out like this like whole thing. I'm just sending notes back to this whole special. There's 12 people on it. The second you hit enter, it's like, boom, I'm in Cabo. I don't give a fuck.
It is like getting stuffed by the set. It's like shooting a basketball and somebody just being like, get the fuck out of here.
But it's so quick. The second you hit enter, it's like, boom, hey, I'm not here. Okay.
Like,
don't tell me. Just don't
schedule
respond.
it to take 30 minutes.
Yes, exactly. It's just like that instant you. It is like getting blocked. You're working on this whole email all day. You've been in the gym. You finally go to shoot. First quarter, he's open. Boom.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm at a wedding in Sacramento. Oh, okay. And then they give you other options. I'm out of town, but you can email this person. I don't know who the that is.
My favorite are the people that send the out of office replies and then they'll reply 10 minutes later.
Yeah. Yeah. So don't put it out of office. And I know that I'm like a workhorse and like everybody respects their time and all that. Just don't even put it out of office. Like respond when you respond, you know?
They're so annoying.
It's like, I'd rather not get a response for a day. And then I go like, hey, following up on this, like, oh, sorry, man, I'm in Cabo. Oh, all right. Like, I know it's the right thing to do. It's the speed at which it comes back.
Yeah, no, it is aggressive.
It's like when you shoot a text and Verizon's like, this number has now been changed. You're like, I just feel dumb.
It is like, can I let this land can I enjoy the victory of having
microdose your out of offices, you know? Let me feel good about it. Or, you know, I don't know.
What do you do if you're really into a girl?
Marry her.
Okay.
No, what are you saying?
We'll get to that. And her email is like sparklegirl424 at like Hotmail.
When did she make it? If she made it in like 2022, like goodbye.
I have
psych ward.
Been into guys and then seen their email address and been like, oh.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I feel like growing up,
I'm like, you weren't able to get like Eric Marks 1, 2. You had to do 1, 2, 4, 9.
Oh
like,
yeah,
what?
I made a whole sketch on that of just like how embarrassing it is saying it out loud. I mean, it's like,
yeah, that's right.
You gotta just make a burner and then a regular. Like burner is where you send out your spam mail. Like I still have that, and it is cringy as. But I made it like 8th grade. I would never give that out. But yeah, I mean, I think it is fun. It just shows you like how simple somebody can be. Like a guys will be like, the football player 44, and you're like. When did you play football?
Football.
Yeah. Well, that was taken, and 44 is my favorite number. Go Chiefs. And you're like, oh, God. I couldn't imagine dating men. Just a bunch of idiots.
You know what's weird?
Like, would you be mad if every Sunday he was like this guy is never excited to go to any event with you, never do anything. And then one Sunday morning, he's up at 7 a.m. He's like, yeah, well, they're playing international, babe. So I got to be up and I got to watch during the Final Four. And this could win us a lot of money. Like, if I was a woman, I'd be so dry. Big. Do you get up for this? And look, I know I'm in the wrong. I don't watch sports, so I don't know. But like,
I
guys
think
are just so funny.
It is wild when you're like, my dude setting like his alarm to watch other men exercise. It is a little wild.
Like, you can't tell me that's not like insane.
It's a little bonkers. And like, he'll yell at me if I speak that day, like at all.
When there's sports playing or just in general?
Yeah, well, look.
Babe, the game is tomorrow. Shut the fuck up.
I'm a different person and probably deserve it 24/7. But also, it's like, I do, because I have a lot of guy friends, because I have a lot of friends that are comics, and I hear some of the men are doing, and I'm like, ugh, so cringe. Like,
both sides are cringe.
But I hear, so it's like, you were talking about this in your special, when I think guys have to sit through girls talking about their exes constantly. Or maybe that was on your podcast?
Yeah, no, it was on there.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're just making the guy picture you getting fucked by a crazy person. And when girls are like, and he was a stalker, and he was so crazy, and he was such an asshole, and he was this, I'm like, this is making you look terrible.
Yeah, his chapter needed to end.
And can you stop telling me how crazy your ex is, who's gonna probably knife me in the park? Like, why would you tell me?
I'm like delusional. I just pretend they've never dated anybody.
Same.
I don't
need to hear anything about it.
No.
And also the common denominator. It's that time of night where I'm stuttering. The common denominator in all your crazy exes is you, bitch. It just makes you look nuts.
Right, because I think somebody can feel that the ex was crazy, but they don't have to like lead with that. I don't know.
What do you talk about on a first date? I don't date people. They text me for like a month and they just like move into my house.
First dates they either feel like a podcast or where you're just like, yeah, growing up in Southern California is so cool. I love comedy. What do you do for, or it just feels very like and the problem with me is like, I want a girl who I can like riff with, but that's like asking a lot, like energy wise. Like if I'm going 100 miles an hour, I'm like, oh, look at what that guy ordered. And then I try to make like a common denominator joke to get her in on it too. And she's like, yeah, golden doodles aren't actually gold. And I'm like, so the problem is like, I want to go that I can like riff with, because sorry to bring up my ex, but we could riff a lot. It was fun.
We're not on a date. You can bring up your ex.
What's up? But yeah, I mean, that's just like something. So first dates are either super fun or they're like, Here's the trick
about that, though. A guy gave it to me straight recently. There have been a couple guys that just had the kindness to tell me Like I have this theory that, don't go to your girlfriends for advice about guys and don't go to your guy friends. Like if you want advice about girls, go to your girlfriends.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
correct.
And definitely don't go to your single girlfriends for advice about dating or being in a relationship.
Yes.
Go to your married friends, whatever.
Mhm.
So, where am I going with this? It's smart, I swear. I had one guy say to me once, I was just like younger and a little arrogant. I would like give it back to him and like blah, 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 blah. And he was just like, why are you doing this? And I was like, well, why would you date me if you didn't want an equal? And like, I'm the girl you date if you want a challenge. And he just went, why would any guy want a challenge in their relationship? And I literally was like,
yeah. It's got to be a team effort.
like it didn't even occur to me. And then a guy said to me recently, because I was like, I'm confused. Do guys want a girl who's funny or a girl who's not funny? Because I feel like sometimes when I'm funny, it bothers them. And if I'm not, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And he went, guys want a girl who's funny, but doesn't want them to make fun of him.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like be funny, but not at my expense. So I think girls are like, I'm funny and we're being funny about you and your stupid shirt and like,
yeah. I mean,
like,
the opening line that I'll never respond to in my life is I'm funnier than you. No. It doesn't give me anywhere to, it does give me somewhere to go, but it's a cliff. And I don't know, like, how am I supposed to respond to that? All right, let me see a tight 7, clean. Let's go to Michael Cox.
That's like a psychopath. Yeah. Nice Michael Cox drop.
Yeah, cut that out. Just kidding.
Like, that's just, to me, I don't know. That's just.
But it's a challenge. It's already putting down.
As someone who's funnier than you, I'm kidding.
You are.
That's not true.
But it's just like nothing about that makes me want to prove myself.
No.
Like, I don't know. It's just a funny opening thing.
It is interesting that you talk about getting married.
I want to.
What about it?
Whitney Cummings, will you?
Please, sure. No prenup.
Wait, so what's going on?
Don't even think about it.
Okay, cool. I think I want to like, and this sounds dumb, but I want to work my ass off like through my 30s. And then like at 40, be like, all right, now what? I feel like I'm pretty established. I can settle down. I want to see where I'm at in a relationship. If I'm with somebody, great. Are things going well? And like think about a family.
Are people your age want to get married? How old are you?
Not industry people, but like my friends that I went to college with and grew up with. Yeah, there are a lot of them getting married.
How old are you?
30.
Okay.
So like a lot of my college friends are getting married. Hometown friends have like 5 kids already. They're just pumping them out.
Yeah.
Gunther, Luther, a lot of fun names. But yeah, it's like, but like also like, I don't know. I look at my friends getting married and I'm like.
I also find though, it's interesting. Like in our business, like Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, like all like the most successful comedy people, Judd Apatow, like they have very stable, boring, I was, risking to say, relationships and lives. And they're not out. I see so many people who should be further in their career, bigger, but they waste so much time and energy on dating and sleeping around and putting up numbers. And it's sort of like,
I feel like it's like you're just like grounded. You just like, I don't know. It's like, it's very routine. It's like you have a wife and kids, you go to work, you come back, you hang out with your kids, you do this with your wife. I mean, sure. Like I think you said it was like, it might be a little more boring, but like, yeah, like
boring in a good way. And by boring, I mean, people like us, we're so manic. We conflate
boring in like a stable way.
In serenity. Yeah.
It's like chicken and rice for dinner every night. You're like, it works.
It's like your job should be the most stressful part of your life. Like our work should be the most stress. I see guys going home to drama and and like they're just like not putting time into writing or doing stuff. And I think it's like the person that you date and ultimately settle down with is a business decision.
Yes.
Because it's going to make or break you.
Yeah. And they have to be supportive of whatever travel or whatever you're putting in hour-wise for work. But I haven't quite yet found that.
For me, when something ends, I kind of just go like, I feel like this isn't my forever dude.
Did something just click? And you're like,
I can fall. I need one little thing. It's weird. It's not like a bigger thing. It's like
But is that like the tip of the iceberg and then there's a lot behind it?
Maybe that's probably a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I kind of will see one thing or one thing will be said and I like can never get over it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And I'm kind of like, am I a psychopath?
It's like, I remember growing up, I ate a blueberry and I saw the inside was green and I was like, never again. I'm off with blueberries. And sometimes that's what dating is.
Yeah.
Is somebody will say something, guys and girls, they'll say something and you're like, that's the green in the blueberry.
It's just kind of, I can never look at you the same way anymore.
Yeah. Do you have any funny examples? It doesn't have to be
Like if a
racing, it could
guy
be in the
says
past.
crashing,
What do
like
you mean?
I'm
Pete
gonna-
Holmes like, have you seen my new show Crashing? You're like, no, get out of here. What?
like sort of like I'm gonna go to St. Louis. I'm gonna just like crash with my friend. Jeff.
Oh yeah, I got you.
You mean you're gonna stay with him?
Yeah.
You're still saying crash? Like what? Like it's like a little thing like that.
Yeah.
This is gonna make me sound really insensitive and like a sociopathic asshole. But one time I was like with this dude, and he's wearing these shoes that are like they're like lace up kind of Jack Sparrow-y type
Okay.
shoes.
Yeah.
And it's like we were walking across like a cobblestone thing.
Oh no. Oh no. Honey, hold my heels.
And so I'm carrying him across the puddle. No, and he like tripped.
Yeah.
And it went on forever. You know those trips that
Yeah.
just never like kind of turn into a run? You
yeah,
have to just
it's like Looney Tunes. Yeah.
it went on forever.
Yeah.
And I'm not such an asshole that I just like fell out of love with someone because they showed some kind of physical weakness. It was just the fact that he was wearing shoes that were he was so not prepared for life or
Yeah.
to defend anyone in any capacity.
Yeah.
And like that was kind of it.
But now I like look for it because like I was with a girl the other night and I was by the Comedy Store and I was looking for parking. And one lot I go to, the one I always go to, it was full. And I was like, oh, I'll just go to another lot. Go to a second lot, right? By the pink dot. And I go in and the guy's like, oh, we're full. And I'm like, 2 lots, I'm 0 for 2. And I'm like, I'm with this girl, she's super nice. And I'm like, dude, this is, if I was a girl, I'd be like, 1 more lot. I'm not blowing this man. I go to a 3rd lot and they're fucking full.
No.
I literally had to pay the guy at Saddle Ranch extra to be like, can I park here and go to the Comedy Store? But I was like 0 for 3 on lots. And I was like, imagine being a girl in that seat and you're like, this guy can't even park a f***ing Tesla. I am blowing his roommate so quick.
I actually think that it's more the way the guy talks to the parking lot attendant. If you're
Yeah.
like, hey, chief, I'm like,
Chief's crazy. Chief's crazy. Out the
like,
gate.
I will really like a guy and he'll be like, what's up, boss? I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
he's a valet. You know that he's no one's boss.
Yeah.
It's such a power move. It's almost more patronizing to call someone that is so vastly under you and about to park your car. Like, what's
Yeah.
up, boss?
It just
It's
feels like he's trying to like pull like some some weird move. Like, I'm gonna just park it myself. Don't worry about it. And it's
Yeah.
like, what?
hey, brother, hey, boss. Like, just,
Yeah.
sir, can I
But
park
that's
here?
what it feels like in these first stages of dating. It feels like a game of what's that? Minesweeper? Solitaire? What's the one where you step on and there's not bombs?
Minesweeper.
Minesweeper. It feels like each date is like a game of Minesweeper. Like, did I say anything
Yeah.
to blow this date up? You know?
I think it's also just like when someone is trying to impress you, you can feel it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's that kind of thing. So
God, you
it's
see
more,
that
it's
so
less what you're
much.
doing. It's more the fact that you're trying to impress me, which is so annoying because you should try to impress someone on a first date, but trying too hard is just repellent.
Yeah. I mean, you see it all over town. You just see a guy in like a Lamborghini Urus just pulling up, just the loudest car.
That's so embarrassing.
You're taking her to the Pink Taco, sir.
Yeah,
Just
and the
don't.
Lamborghini rentals due back in 2 hours.
God.
Like you're gonna have to.
I just like the amount of shows, and I'm sure you see this all the time out here too. It's just like when they turn the lights on, the Laugh Factory, the Improv, and you see the audience, and there's inevitably some like 60-year-old dude with like a 22-year-old, and you just want to be like, everybody stop, don't leave the showroom. You guys on stage now. What's going on here? What do you guys talk about? What are your commonalities? What was his opening line? AARP and me, baby.
I just realized because I just came from like dating someone that I think was just too young for me, and he was only like, like 10 years younger. I guess that sounds like a lot. But I realized the most important thing to me in a relationship at this point is having the same song references and movie references. Because I've always dated like older where I'm like, who's Hall & Oates? Like, what? Or like, I don't know Johnny Cash songs. I know who he is, but like when you're on a road trip and you seem so into this and I'm trying to pretend I'm into this, but then if I'm dating someone younger, I'm like, so Eve was the first rapper in the rough. I feel like I'm lecturing.
Right,
I almost feel like the key is to just date your same exact age.
You got to be on the same page with references.
And there's some things that can only be explained by saying like, remember in Fast and Furious 3 when he grabbed the, like sometimes that's the only way to convey your point. You're like, remember the scene in No Country for Old Men when he goes into the gas station? That's how I feel today.
Yeah, I agree. It's got to be the same like humor level and in and around the references. I agree. Because then I feel like they start asking questions that might be disrespectful. They're like, wait, so was the Titanic real? And you're like, oh my.
Well,
Was
there
Leo,
is a
like, on
conspiracy
it?
theory.
Oh God, let's not get that. It's getting late for Whitney.
It was actually switched out to a boat called the
CGI,
Olympus.
the Earth is flat,
which
the
is
Olympus.
why-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I do want to write this movie after I finish what I'm working on now about a woman who's 40 who's dating guys like 25, and they fall in love.
Movie, just vlog it. Whitney, what are you talking about?
I just like air my Ring camera footage. And it's about like he's in love with he's like so sick of dating these like young influencers where he has to like take pictures of them in front of wing walls on dates. You know what I mean? And like wants to date an older woman, but doesn't know any like 90s songs. So he has to like learn every 90s song and like watch every 90s movie and play every 90s video game to like understand her. And then she's got to like learn Snapchat and all this other like understand him. So.
Yeah. It's coming of tail ages. That's not what they say. Coming of ages.
Coming of tail ages.
I'm just saying words at this point. I saw a horse. Horses have tails. I don't really know.
I love your brain. Like, I love how fast it is. I love how chaotic it is in the best way. I'm glad
I feel like it's really good because you also have that same brain. It's just like, it's like a ping pong match. Starts out slow. They're like, gah, 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 gah.
And then we'll take like little lulls where we make no sense. And then we'll like come back. And then like we kind of cancel each other out.
Yeah, like somebody flubs a word. My senses don't make sense. But then it like levels out. And then it's like, doot, 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 doot.
I'm such a fan of yours as a person.
Thank you so much,
I'm glad
Whitney.
that we're real friends.
Have I done the most appearances on this podcast? This is number 3 for me.
Whoa. I think
number
Nikki
3.
Glaser might be more. People love me and Nikki Glaser just
It's
like
a tie at the top.
like rambling about insecurities for some reason.
Both very funny women.
Huh. Would you ever date a comic?
Yeah, I think so. Because I feel like if anybody's going to get the schedule, it's going to be another comic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, don't. I'm like, are you insane?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to, I'm open to trying pretty much anything. It's like, okay, we dated, didn't work,
Can I ask you one last thing?
Please.
What other press matters? Like I had this special come out and I'm like, I have about 2 weeks to like, that I'm going to commit to doing this. I did like Kimmel, like whatever, that kind of stuff. And then I'm like, I did Rogan, I did Tiger Belly, I did Santino. Like you'll do all these rounds. H3, like what are if you're going to go on 5 podcasts, what are they going to be?
I don't even think it's podcast. I think it's half podcast. So what I'm doing, I'm going to New York next week and I'm doing some podcasts, obviously, but there's a lot of, it's like, I'm just shooting TikTok content creators. It's like that's where the views are. Because the goal is to just raise overall awareness of Whitney Cummings. What's Whitney up to? Oh, she got a special out.
And then they go to follow you and then they see the trailer on your site.
Yeah, the podcast realm, there's a ceiling. You did Rogan, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to do other podcasts. I remember I hit up Tim when he put out his special and he just did Rogan and H3 and I was like, yo man, if you want to come on a promo, he goes, I'm tapped out. I did Rogan. I did it. That's like, what else are you going to do? So it just feels like.
It's a good point.
The podcast market, if you listen to Rogan, there's a good chance you listen to a bunch of other podcasts. And not to say that it hurts to do all these other podcasts. I think it's great because they have their loyal fans. And if anybody's going to check out a comedy special, it's going to be podcast fans.
Right.
But I'm trying to get in front of the people who just like, they have a series. Like Daniel Mack on TikTok. He's guys like, what do you do for a living? In the cars?
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that. It's like because those videos have.
You realize when people tell me, like, the guy that made millions and millions of dollars by asking people what they do in their car. I just want to put a gun in my fucking gullet.
But there's that angle. But there's also the angle that goes like, okay, I'm a professional comedian. How can I make his videos funny in a Whitney sense? And that does 10 million views. Yeah. What podcast besides Rogan's is going to get you 10 million views? It's like if you. I did a video with Daniel Mack and I don't remember, it did a fuck ton of views. I don't know, but I wasn't promoting anything at the time. So now I'm like, you're so funny. It's like you take a simple format and you can shit on it, or you can be like, how can I just relate? So I'm sorry if this is mansplaining. I'm just
No. By the way, first of all, I am so pro mansplaining. It is ridiculous.
Oh, really? That's
how
funny
else are we going to learn shit?
That's funny.
I have a niece who is in college and she'll call me. She's like, my professor is mansplaining me. I'm like, bitch, that's called teaching. You're dumb. He's smart. Like, is this what happens when like female doctors go to medical school? They're like, this professor's mansplaining me. I'm like, how else are we going to learn the shit?
You should write that down.
They know all the shit.
Yeah. Thank you.
Please mansplain to me.
But I think it's going to anybody who you work with and be like, hey, I want you to just research who are the top TikTokers in Austin, who are the top TikTokers in New York, who are LA, and then it's like, what can I do with these guys where I can pop in? And dude, it takes 10 minutes to film.
Yeah, the fact that I was just like, I'm doing all this new media, enlisted 5 men that are literally 50 years old. I was like, I'm doing Rogan, Bobby Lee, Santino. Like, what the fuck?
Those are great podcasts because I think the conversion rate of people, those are the people who are more likely to check out a Specials podcast fans.
Right.
But if, if a video with one of these big TikTok things gets 10 million, you would imagine 10,000 people from that would go check it out. It's still a lot of people.
Right.
And it's still just a lot of views just looking at you. So it's like when you hit the podcast audience, you're only hitting this market, but I'm like, it's a giant Venn diagram. There's no one way to do it. I don't know. It's my first PR round. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what I'm doing right.
But I also think it's cool for you to do establishment comedian.
Do both.
That sounds weird. Like do like Are You Garbage? Do like Skank Fest. Because I think it's like for you, a lot of people know that your videos are really funny, but I'm excited for people to know how fucking funny you are for real as a stand-up and off the cuff extemporaneously.
Yeah.
Because I was stunned.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's also because you're like handsome. I mean, there's like a lot of things that make people go like, oh, this fucking guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pterodactyl out now.
I love you.
But yeah, to answer your question, I don't think they're like, I think obviously do all the podcasts. I mean, you did Rogan. That's like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd also think about just some of these other random collabs. There's so many people that just do random
I gotta
shit.
go. I gotta DM Young Gravy real quick.
Do it. He'll fucking put you in a song and then you can sue him, you know?
I'm like, I sue musicians that use me for content. Hey,
no,
just slide into your DM.
Here's what you reach out to Akon. Sorry about the whole lawsuit thing. Tee-hee. What if you put the first 10 seconds of Mouthy in a song? You know? It's just getting that weird, like, how can I squeeze promo in without being promo?
Yeah.
People hate promo, but if you can like trick people where it's like a minute of like funny, good content, and then at the very end, you're like, Mouthy out now. They're like, son of a bitch, that was funny, and you got me. I'll literally have people that'll like be like, didn't know this was an ad until the end. I'll go check out this product. Because they feel like they're like, respects. You got my attention, and I didn't even know it was an ad.
I do think that you should start talking to your, this might be an off-camera conversation, but about sponsors, about sponsoring like full TV shows and movies and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the
next thing.
The next thing is like Home Depot presents, and they'll give you $5 million to make a movie or whatever it is. And one of the characters just has to work at Home Depot. There's a scene where you go to Home Depot, whatever it is. Like, we're going to go back
Signed,
to that.
sealed, and delivered. Yeah, of course.
We're going to go back to that.
Yeah, I would love to. I think that's a great idea.
Pterodactyl. It's on Amazon Prime right
Video,
now.
out now.
Trevor Wallace. You know I love you.
You said that with so much enthusiasm. And
that is the most sincere I love you I've ever said.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry. I feel like I'm a little out of it. I feel like I was a little all over the place with you.
Like you have a child.
It's so weird. I have a tiny vampire inside me just eating my brain as I talk.
Somebody told me the name. Do I know it? Have you said it yet?
I haven't said it, but I think I've already changed it.
What is it?
Who told you?
Editor, Michael.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
He is like the only person I told. That's
can we say it? It's Trevor.
It's
after his father.
It is such a good name, Trevor.
You think?
Yeah, I did say it was Matt Rife's kid as a joke, and that went pretty viral. So let's get this going.
You attach his name to anything, and it's
I
like,
mean,
blah, blah, blah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
I love you so much. Trevor Wallace, Pterodactyl, watch it now. It is legitimately fucking excellent special. You know I end these awkwardly. Don't ride elephants. I love you. Bye.